Ever look at a tractor and think it's downright adorable? Well, today we're going to dive into the world of small, vibrant, and often overlooked tractors that help shape American farming. Now, these aren't just workhorses, they're charming little machines that brought back fond memories of fields, fresh air, and simpler times. Let's travel back through the 1900s and explore the smaller and sometimes lesser-known tractors that captured America's imagination with their colorful paint jobs and undeniable charm. Number 10's the Gibson Model D. Gibson Manufacturing Corporation might not be a household name today, but back in the 40s, this small company produced one of the more whimsical-looking tractors around, the Gibson Model D, founded by, you guessed it, Harry S. Gibson. The company first operated out of Seattle, Washington, before moving production to Longmont, Colorado after World War II. The Model D, introduced around 1948, was famed for its compact size, which made it perfect for small-scale farms and gardens. Now, while it might not have boasted the brute power of bigger brands, the Model D's robust little Continental engine typically churned out 10 to 15 horsepower, enough muscle for tasks like plowing a small field or hauling light loads. Painted in subdued reds or sometimes a dark hue that gave it a more understated look, the Model D was distinguished by its short wheelbase and relatively simplistic design. For many farmers, this tractor was an economical option, especially when every penny counted post-war. With a manual transmission that varied in speed options depending on the production year, it delivered a reliable performance for day-to-day chores. Yet there was a sense of pride among Gibson owners, who often customized their tractors with decorative decals or even fresh coats of brighter paint to give them a more cheerful appearance. That personal touch turned these no-frills machines into charming conversation starters at county fairs. Despite Gibson eventually ceasing operations in the early 50s, the Model D remains a cult classic among vintage tractor enthusiasts, standing as a testament to American ingenuity on a smaller scale, where cute and capable weren't mutually exclusive. Let's go on to number 9, the Ford Model 8N. Now, while Henry Ford is more widely known for revolutionizing the automobile industry, his foray into tractors was equally groundbreaking. The Ford 8N, introduced in '47, quickly became one of the most iconic small tractors in American history, carrying forward the legacy of its predecessor, the 9N, but with several improvements that made it more efficient and more comfortable for farmers to operate. Sporting a distinctive gray and red paint scheme, the 8N had a straightforward charm that still captivates collectors and vintage machinery fans. Now, under the hood, the 8N packed a 4-cylinder engine that produced about 23 horsepower. Not massive by modern standards, but by the mid-1900s, this was a respectable strength for a tractor designed to handle common farming tasks like plowing, planting, or pulling wagons. It also introduced the draft and position control 3-point hitch system, which was a leap forward in terms of versatility and ease of use. Farmers could attach implements more efficiently and adjust the draft based on soil resistance, improving stability and performance in varied conditions. Now, part of what makes the 8N cute, beyond its compact build and approachable design, is its cultural impact. You'd often see these red and gray machines puttering around a small family farm, a friendly sight that evoked a promise of self-reliance. Many hobby farmers today still use an 8N, relying on their simplicity and easy availability of replacement parts. Custom paint jobs and decorative modifications have turned some restored 8Ns into showstoppers at vintage tractor meets. Now, through the decades, the Ford 8N has become a symbol of a changing America, one embracing technological advances but still deeply rooted in tradition. Now, for many, simply hearing the engine start up can bring back vivid memories of working the land and building a life that revolved around community, resilience, and hard-earned success. But before we move on to the next one on the list, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you're enjoying the content so far, take a second and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing, but imagine what we could accomplish if everyone subscribed. It'll cost you nothing, but makes a big difference to us. Thank you to all that do. Now on with the countdown. Number 8 is the Minneapolis Moline BF. Now, Minneapolis Moline might not carry the immediate brand recognition of John Deere or Ford, but this Minneapolis-based manufacturer left a distinct mark on American agriculture. Among its lineup, the Minneapolis Moline BF stands out for its unique, almost toy-like appearance, particularly when painted in the brand's bright prairie gold color scheme. This small utility tractor was built to maneuver a tight space and maybe a smaller plot of land, yet it radiated a sunny and upbeat vibe that many describe as cute. Now, introduced in the late 40s, the BF typically came equipped with an L-head 4-cylinder engine that delivered somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 25 horsepower. This power level positioned it perfectly for small-scale dairy farms, orchard work, and vegetable growers who needed nimble handling. The BF's design also featured a relatively low stance, making it safer and easier to operate on uneven ground. An adjustable wide front end became popular among those who wanted added stability. Now, culturally, Minneapolis Moline tractors were sometimes overshadowed by the bigger players, but the BF gained a loyal following thanks to its reliable performance and the brand's dedication to service. At antique tractor shows today, a well-restored BF and its bright golden paint can't help but catch the eye, reminding enthusiasts of a time when even modest tractors were built with a blend of functionality and distinct character. Though the Minneapolis Moline name eventually became part of corporate mergers, first with the White Farm equipment in the 1960s and later under AGCO, fans continue to cherish these smaller vintage models. The BF holds a special place as a symbol of resourceful, small-scale farming. It's all wrapped up in a cheerful package that brings a smile to anyone passing by. Number 7 is the Allis Chalmers Model B. The Allis Chalmers Model B is a perfect example of how a tractor can be both no-nonsense and just downright adorable. Sporting the brand's signature Persian orange paint, an eye-popping hue that exuded confidence, this model debuted in 1937 and aimed to provide smaller farms with an affordable and versatile machine. At the time, Allis Chalmers sought to break the mold by offering a tractor that wasn't only economical but could also handle a variety of tasks without the need for more expensive models. Equipped with a 4-cylinder engine that usually delivered about 17 horsepower, the Model B excelled in light fieldwork, cultivating, and mowing. It also came with a narrow front or adjustable wide front, giving owners some flexibility based on the type of terrain they worked. For many family farmers, the Model B was their first tractor, transitioning them away from horse-drawn equipment and into the more modern mechanical era. Now, part of its allure, beyond the bright orange paint, was how straightforward it was to operate. The controls were laid out in a way that made sense for first-time buyers, and maintenance was relatively uncomplicated. This user-friendly focus turned the Model B into a kind of getaway tractor for folks who were just learning the ropes of mechanized farming. Its cultural significance lies in how it helped small-scale farmers improve efficiency and broaden their capacity to grow a number of crops. Many collectors today are drawn to the Model B not just for its historical value, but for its delightful appearance. At vintage farm shows, a lineup of Persian orange Allis Chalmers machines inevitably will draw a crowd, particularly the smaller Bs, which look especially charming and a bit approachable. In essence, the Model B stands as a bright, shining reminder of how the march of agricultural progress often arrived in compact and colorful packages. Number 6 is the John Deere Model L. Now, when most people think of John Deere, they're thinking a massive green giant rumbling across an endless cornfield. But the John Deere Model L, introduced in '37, was a compact pioneer that proved small and mighty weren't mutually exclusive. Its signature green and yellow color scheme marked it unmistakably as part of the Deere family. Yet its petite frame set it apart from the company's larger machines. It was designed for small-scale farming operations, vegetable growers, and orchards, any situation where a nimble and light tractor could shine. Now, under the hood, the Model L generally featured a 1.5-liter 2-cylinder engine that produced about 10 horsepower, depending on the configuration and year. Though modest in numbers, it was enough to manage tasks like light plowing and cultivating. One of its key draws was easy maneuverability, which enabled operators to work comfortably in tight rows without trampling young plants. With rear-wheel drive and a streamlined transmission, the Model L offered a pleasant driving experience for farmers who weren't accustomed yet to the heft of a bigger tractor. The Model L also signaled John Deere's understanding that not all farms needed the same level of horsepower. By diversifying its lineup, John Deere gained a foothold in more niche markets, bolstering a reputation as a company that listened to the very needs of the American farmer. Its small but reliable design endeared it to its owners, who took pride in customizing their tractors, some even adding personal touches like pinstriping or polished metal exhaust stacks to complement the iconic green paint. See, as you stroll through a vintage tractor show, a gleaming Model L might catch you off guard. After all, people expect big, imposing John Deeres, but that's precisely why it still captivates the imagination. It's a friendly, pint-sized piece of agricultural history that proves bigger, well, it's not always better. For many collectors, it's a reminder of simpler days, when farmland was smaller and the line between daily chores and family life was charmingly blurred. Number 5 is the Case VA Series. Now, Case, known for its eagle emblem and distinctive color schemes, offered several models in its VA series that exuded a classic, almost playful aura. Among these, the VAC stands out as a cute option that provided dependable service to mid-century American farmers. Produced between 1942 and 55, the VAC typically came clad in the brand's renowned flambeau red paint, set off by cream-colored wheels. The contrast made for a bright, eye-catching appearance that still grabs attention at any tractor show. Now, powered by a 4-cylinder gasoline engine, the VAC hovered around 20 horsepower, enough to perform crucial farm duties like plowing small fields, planting, and general utility tasks. What helped set the VAC apart was its versatility. With an adjustable front axle and a decent range of implements, farmers could configure this compact tractor to handle row crop work, haying, or even orchard tasks. That adaptability was a big deal in a post-war economy where every investment needed to pull double or triple duty. From a cultural standpoint, the VAC and its VA siblings played an essential role in modernizing farms that couldn't justify a larger tractor. Its smaller size and easy-to-operate design made it appealing to new tractor owners who wanted a straightforward introduction to mechanized farming. Folks quickly discovered that a little care would go a long way in keeping these tractors running reliably year after year. Collectors often delight in finding a VAC that's been meticulously restored to its original flambeau red sheen. Others choose to experiment with other custom paint jobs, some opting for a white or pastel color to highlight the tractor's petite frame and gentle curves. In any case, the VAC remains a symbol of Case's commitment to offering farmers machines that were both practical and approachable, bridging the gap between large-scale operations and the small family farm in a friendly, almost cuddly package. Number 4 is the Silver King Model 42. Silver King's a brand name that might draw some blank stares from those unfamiliar with vintage tractors, but to a collector or historian, the Silver King Model 42 stands as a unique gem. Manufactured by the Fate Root Health Company in Plymouth, Ohio, Silver King tractors often wore a distinctive silver-gray paint job that gave them a kind of shiny, almost futuristic look for their time. Now, among these models, the Model 42 is often cited for its cute factor, thanks to its compact and streamlined design. Introduced in the late 30s, the Silver King Model 42 used a 4-cylinder engine in the 20 to 25 horsepower range, offering enough torque for a typical small farm task. Its relatively lightweight build provided good maneuverability, especially important for market gardens and smaller acreages. Another distinguishing feature was its front-mounted radiator cap, which jutted out just enough to give the tractor a quirky and personable face, just like an old-time cartoon character coming to life. While the brand never reached the mass-market fame of Ford, John Deere, or International Harvester, Silver King did carve out a loyal customer base. Some owners would praise the line for its durable construction and above-average road speed, useful for traveling between the field or even driving into town if you had to. During parades and shows, you could still spot a glistening Silver King that seems to radiate like an Art Deco vibe, capturing the spirit of American industrial design from that era. Now, historically, the Model 42 exemplified the independent spirit of smaller tractor manufacturers who sought to innovate in a market that was dominated by a few major players. Fate Root Health produced everything from locomotives to golf carts, and that diverse background lent a unique flair to their tractors. Today, the Silver King name conjures images of a distinctive shiny machine that's charming and practical, a fleeting piece of Americana that continues to captivate collectors and enthusiasts alike. Number 3, the Economy Power King. Now, when it comes to small tractors that ooze character, the Economy Power King stands tall. Figuratively speaking, it was launched by Engineering Products Company in the mid-1940s, and these tractors were designed to handle the chores of homesteaders and hobby farmers who didn't need a full-sized rig. Sporting a compact frame and often painted in bright orange or red, the Power King quickly earned its reputation as a cute yet hard-working companion for tending to gardens, plowing small plots, or even hauling light loads of firewood. Now, under the hood, early models generally ran with a single-cylinder Briggs & Stratton or Kohler engine, delivering anywhere from 7 to 14 horsepower, depending on the configuration. Now, while those numbers might seem a bit modest for today's standards, they were more than adequate for the kinds of tasks that owners required, especially on smaller acreages where maneuverability outranked raw power. Over the years, these tractors evolved with optional transmissions and an expanding array of implements, allowing farmers to hook up mowers, tillers, and snowblades with ease. Part of the charm of the Economy Power King lies in its straightforward construction. With easy-to-access parts and simple controls, these tractors proved exceptionally user-friendly, even for those new to mechanized farm equipment. Their lightweight design also made them a favorite for older users or those who simply enjoyed tinkering. Enthusiasts often customized their Power Kings with flashy paint jobs or added accessories like chrome exhaust pipes, lending a personal flair to an already delightful machine. Now, culturally, the Power King occupied a niche where full-sized farm tractors were overkill and lawn tractors weren't quite enough. Now, this happy medium resonated with rural and semi-rural Americans who valued self-sufficiency but needed something on a more modest scale. Today, you'll find Power King fans at vintage shows that proudly display their restored models. Some are decked out in period-correct decals, others boasting modern upgrades. But regardless of the variation, the economy Power King remains an endearing snapshot of American ingenuity, proving that sometimes a small tractor with a big heart is all you really need. Number 2 is the Allis Chalmers Model G. Now, Allis Chalmers proved once again that small tractors could pack a surprising punch with the Model G. Rolled out in 1948, this was an unconventional rear-engine design, and the Model G quickly earned fans who appreciated its superb visibility and ingenious engineering. But unlike most tractors, the engine and drivetrain were located behind the driver, freeing up the front section for unobstructed views and easy implement hookups. Painted in the signature Allis Chalmers orange, the Model G boasted a compact silhouette that appears downright adorable, especially to modern eyes used to massive machines. Now, at about 9 horsepower, the Model G used a small 4-cylinder Continental engine. This was requiring meticulous cultivation. Because operators could see their implements clearly, they achieved precise planting, weeding, and maintenance of crop rows. The result was a tractor that minimized both waste and motion and the chance of damaging some crops. Culturally, the Model G represented a smart rethinking of what a light-duty tractor actually could be. Its unique layout set it apart from other brands, and that distinctiveness attracted inventive farmers who like to experiment with mounting different implements. Many even engineered homemade attachments to suit specialized needs. Over time, some owners swapped an alternative engine or upgraded the gearbox, turning their G into a custom machine that matched their exact requirements. Though production did end in 1955, the Model G remains a cult favorite for collectors and small-scale organic farmers that are looking for an alternative to modern machinery. You'll often spot them at antique tractor pulls or fairs, glinting orange in the sun, standing out for their quirky shape and backward setup. It's a shining example of how creativity, efficiency, and a dash of cuteness can converge in a piece of machinery that's as nostalgic as it is innovative. And number 1, the cutest tractor of them all, the International Harvester McCormick Deering Farmall A. Now, topping our list is the International Harvester McCormick Deering Farmall A. Part of the legendary Farmall line, the Model A epitomizes the idea that big innovations can come in small packages. Introduced in 1939, the Farmall A was instantly recognizable for its cult division offset design, where the engine sat slightly to one side, giving the operator a clear line of sight to the row below. Now, painted in the classic IH red, this model was designed to handle the tasks of smaller farms, cultivating, plowing, planting, while remaining cost-effective and easy to maintain. At its core, the Farmall A ran on a 4-cylinder engine that generated 16 horsepower. That might seem modest, but it was enough to revolutionize the workflow for countless families that were moving from horse-drawn equipment into motorized farming. Now, with a tight turn radius and relatively light weight, it excelled in smaller fields and orchard rows, reducing the need for manual labor. The optional hydraulics and a variety of attachments made the A unexpectedly versatile for everything from tilling garden plots to pulling a wagon. The cultural impact of the A also goes beyond pure functionality. It arrived at a time when America was still recovering from the Great Depression, and farm families were embracing cost-efficient ways to boost production. The A's affordability and straightforward design helped countless families become independent, shaping the image of the self-sufficient American farmer. Now, even after all these years, an impeccably restored Farmall A at a local parade can bring a wave of nostalgia, reminding spectators of a time when such machines redefined life in rural communities. Today, the Farmall A remains a beloved piece of tractor history. Collectors enjoy restoring them to their original red glory, sometimes adding decorative touches that enhance their classic look. But the next time you see a Farmall A, tip your cap in respect. It's the embodiment of cute, clever, and capable American tractor engineering. And that concludes our countdown. Thanks for joining us on this nostalgic journey through America's most charming tractors. It's incredible how these small, colorful machines revolutionized farming while winning hearts all across the country. It's a testament to good engineering and timeless design that so many of these models are still running, collecting admiration from enthusiasts everywhere. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, we would love it if you would subscribe for more deep dives into vintage machinery and American history. And give a thumbs up to the video, share your own thoughts and memories in the comments below, and we will see you next time.